With the Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
This is your captain speaking. We've got clear runway and the weather's fine, but we're just going to circle up here a while and get lucky. No, nothing like that. It's just these cash prizes add up quick. So I suggest you sit back, keep your tray table upright, and start getting lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Okay, round two. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Ah, sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right, ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
You know those times when you get invited to a party as a guest?
I literally sat right across from Steven Tyler and I just asked him every question I could ever imagine about everything.
We're walking with Michael Jackson.
And you have no idea what you're in for.
I was not thinking about, doing the funky Cole Medina with Home Loop.
This is a podcast about just that.
They're going to arrest us for being on mushrooms at a wizard park. We're in trouble.
This is Plus One Stories.
Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Plus One Stories. My name's Chris Dunn. I'm the host, and thank you for listening. And don't forget, rate, review, subscribe, tell a friend about the show. Or you can follow me on social. Chris_Donovan is mostly my name on them. Now, joining me today, you've heard of him before, PJ. He was on the first episode of this show, where he was the guest for Michael Jackson in the Pepsi commercial, which is pretty dope because that's the commercial that started his whole drug problem because he got burns. But today, I get to talk to PJ about J-Lo. PJ's worked in LA radio for years, and this is an encounter he had with J-Lo shortly after the Selena movie was made. So J-Lo was huge, as big as she could be. It was the Ja Rule J-Lo years. And she comes into the studio to do a morning interview with Rick Dees on Kiss FM with PJ, and she pulls some Zamunda Coming to America crap. I'm not giving it away, but if you know what I'm talking about, you have to listen to this episode because it is hilarious. We even talk a little bit about her follow-up interview on Oprah and how Oprah calls out J-Lo. So sit back, relax, enjoy this episode, and go to thisisfunner.com. Check out everything else up there, including Streaming Legends that PJ hosts. All right? Enjoy this conversation with myself and PJ about how J-Lo is from Zamunda. PJ, you helped me kick off season one with your story about Michael Jackson's Pepsi commercial. Thank you so much for coming back on the show, Plus One Stories.
Anytime. It's fun to join you on this. And I'm glad you enjoyed the Michael story. I think, I'm not going to say I have a topper, but I think I've got something equally as delicious today to tell you about.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know a whole lot about it, but I do. You did say something about J-Lo.
Yes, I did, didn't I?
You did.
Yeah,
So you take it from here.
I see that whet your appetite, and that's a good thing.
Yes.
That's what we're after. Yeah. So no, this is going back to when, we were in studio at Kiss FM and Rick Dees, and we had J-Lo on. It was circa 1997 to 98, somewhere in there. And
on with Ja Rule, because that was their Ja Rule days.
Exactly. Yeah. Everything's carbon dated for that.
Yeah, right.
But I was awed, of course, to have her in, and excited about the fact that, I'd watched her as a fly girl and all that stuff. And then she ascended. I think we were actually, if I remember correctly, we were doing after she had done the Selena,
the
movie and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So she was like white hot. She was white hot.
That's what blew her up right there. Beside, her music doing great, that movie put her on top.
That put her on top, yeah, and that just made her head, I guess, as big as it could get. God bless her, because that happens to everybody. And then, of course, over time it shrinks back down. But this was a moment where I, of course, knew all the publicity people and the people that came with her, and so we get her into the green room, and I hadn't seen her yet. And so I'm sitting there and in the studio with Rick, and we're preparing and we're teasing the audience. And as you know, our audience was excessively large,
very large,
over 2.5 million a day. Yeah. And we're getting everybody excited. And I hear a kind of a knock on our studio door. And so I go to the door, and it's the publicity girl that I know, and I'm going to mention her name. She's great. But she says, how long for J-Lo? And I said, oh, just 5 minutes. I said, we're just going to do some spots, come out, open it up. But so I look down it's a long hallway. If you can imagine the studio door, you open it up and you look down quite a long hallway to the green room, which is on the right at the end of that hallway.
I know exactly that hallway.
You know that hallway.
I know that hallway.
You've walked through that hallway. So I see that there are rose petals in the hallway on the ground and all the way down the hallway. And which I thought was, I didn't know what was going on. I thought maybe something for the station or something was happening. I had no idea.
Something.
Yeah, so I didn't think that much of it. I just kind of glanced, and it's all the way down the hallway. And so then I see this girl come out of that green room where J-Lo is sitting, and she's spraying this fragrance as she comes along. She's spraying this bottle, and it's spraying and spraying and spraying, getting closer to me and the studio and the other publicity girl that I'm standing with. And I said, excuse me, what are you doing? And she said, oh, I'm just preparing the room for J-Lo.
Preparing
the room for J-Lo. I said, really? I said, okay. And she said, yeah. She said, she likes to have a certain scent. And I said, are you the rose petal girl on the, and she kind of smiled. She said, yeah, that's me. And I said, okay. And she said, do you mind if I go in the studio and do the same thing with the scent and all that? I said, oh yeah, I do mind. Because I got a guy in there that's not going to be too happy with it, So I said, yeah. I said, we can't do that. So I said, this is fine. The rose petals are fine. The scent is fine. But I said, it stops at the door of the studio, So anyway, at that point, she went back, and I guess she talked to whoever she had to talk to. And, there was a little angst because they came back to me again and said, is there a problem with us spraying the studio? And I said, yeah, absolutely. I said, that's a vocal thing for one thing. And I said,
also our office too.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, exactly. And I said, that set affects vocal cords in a certain way. And I said, everybody's on the air and doing their thing. And I said, they're not used to that. So, we can't do it. We just can't do it. So at that point, everything was fine. And then she just, ascended down, started coming down.
It's straight from like Zamunda from Coming to America.
Yes, exactly. With the rose petals and the flock of people behind her. And and so here she comes, and she comes in, and I have to say, I mean, as sweet as pie, and that's how it is normally. They tell their people to do the work, and when they get there, they're fantastic, And she was great, and she's sweet, and she came in, and we had a great interview with her, and we never brought up the scent or the rose petals or any of that. We left that all on the table, and at the end of the day, I just, I had to go back and say, would you mind kind of, brushing this up on your.
I was going to say, clean up your rose petals.
Yeah, please, we don't really have rose petal cleaner uppers. So we kind of need you, so the girls did it. They did a great job, and that was good. But the couple kickers to the story is this. That was a bit of a shock. I never had that done before, by the way. And I think, we've probably done thousands.
I wouldn't even know where to go buy rose petals unless they're at the grocery store.
Oh, well, and probably they had to go and pluck roses. And can you imagine?
They want to sweep up those petals and reuse them.
That morning, very early, because we're on early, they were plucking roses, probably dozens of them, to get enough to throw those down.
How much was J-Lo's rose plucker getting paid?
Probably a fair amount of money.
Yeah.
So the kicker to this story is kind of two-pronged. I'll give you the one first, which after that I worked with J-Lo on several different things and had her at Wango Tango, had her in studio, had her on a couple of TV shows that we did, including Rick's late night show and Into the Night, and we did several things. And she's just fantastic. She's a sweetheart. So, I'm not being negative about this. I'm just telling a funny story that happens to people when they first kind of get their first taste of being huge.
Yes.
And I think it's not always their fault. What happens is so many people feed into that and give them ideas. I watch this happen with people over and over again and say, are you comfortable? Is this okay? Is that, you know what I mean? You ask enough questions and somebody's finally going to go, yeah, okay, let's do that, you know, whatever. So
exactly.
I'm not even saying it was her fault, but that was that story. But the funny part of the story is this, and this is probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 months later.
Okay.
On Oprah Winfrey.
Ooh.
Oprah has J-Lo on. And Oprah's, you know how Oprah is. She's asking all kinds of questions. And she gets to the question about, now I've heard that you have to have a certain scent and actual rose petals thrown down before you walk into a room. And she said, you didn't do it here, but, you know, but she said, is that a true thing? And J-Lo looked at her right in the eye and said, I've never heard of such a thing.
Shut the front door.
That to me is incredible. Yeah, she said, I'd never heard of that, you know, and that was kind of like a bit of a shock. And of course, we got that clip and we played it several times.
Oh, yeah.
But,
I would have been playing the hell out of that. Been like, no, we know she did it.
We had fun with that one. But it just goes to show you, I'm sure along the way she realized that was pretty silly and crazy, didn't want to cop to it on Oprah.
Well, I mean, she didn't do it at Oprah. She knew it was kind of silly because Oprah's Oprah.
Right.
Even back then.
Yeah. Could you imagine her descending the hallway of Oprah with rose petals and scent smells? I mean, that would have been pretty crazy. So
they should have made him go all the way up to the chair where she was sit down. That's what they should have done. I mean, if you're going to do it, just play into it.
Well, let me tell you, they were trying. Remember, she came down. She was trying to get in the studio.
Oh, yeah.
And she
but not at Oprah.
No. On ours.
On yours, but if you're going to go
on Oprah, you're saying they should have descended down. Yeah. Well, Oprah would have gone off, I think. I don't think that would happen with Oprah.
She probably would have wanted her own rose petals at that point.
I think so, yeah. Oprah needs the higher throne. I mean, let's face it.
Well, she built the mountain. That's for sure. This reminds me, one time I was working at the Grove in Anaheim, and we had, I just blanked on Lauryn Hill from
Lauryn Hill. Yeah.
She was doing her own show. We had set her up at the Disneyland Grand California Hotel down the street where she wanted to stay because she had family that was going
to that.
Park. She goes down there and then she's about to go. She's supposed to be there and going on stage in about 10 minutes. And apparently there's a type of tea she wanted in her.
Oh, okay.
We didn't have that.
Oh.
We had to send someone to the store to find a certain type of tea. Took an extra 30 minutes.
Yeah.
She's still not there.
Yeah.
She didn't show up. The guy came, got the tea, put it in the room. Then she decided to actually leave the hotel and come this way. An hour late, not even on stage yet, an hour late from being on stage. She's supposed to be out there for an hour already.
Oh my God.
Crowd's restless.
Yeah.
Getting horrible. She pulls up in her bus about an hour and 20 minutes after she was supposed to start. Sits on her bus for a minute. Walks off her bus. Walks right on stage. Does her set. Walks right off the stage. Right back onto her bus and back to Disneyland. Did not even go into her room and touch the tea.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we were the bad guys because everybody in the audience was pissed off. And why would you be mad at Lauryn Hill? You're going to be mad at this, you know? So that reminds me of stuff like that. I bet if you asked her today, she'd be like, "No, that never happened."
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Like, I knew it happened. I was there.
Yeah. you saw it. You sent for the tea. Yeah.
I'm going to do a little recap because back in 1997, you got the J-Lo Ja Rule years.
Yeah.
She came into studio right after her right after Selena.
That's right.
And she was promoting something, but she was also promoting good scent and flower distribution as rose petals were sprinkled all over the floor.
All over the floor.
And
all
she
over
wanted to come in studio.
Yeah.
And then when you get her in studio, you don't say anything about it, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But Oprah didn't hold back. She called her out on TV. J-Lo lied about it, and you guys got to have fun with that on the radio.
And we had that fun with that in the radio. And obviously, we weren't the only studio she had done that in because, you know, but I don't know, maybe we were, and maybe somebody at our place picked up the phone and knew somebody at Oprah and told her. I don't know. I don't know.
That's how it went.
Yeah.
Or even one of her people would be like, "Oh my God, thank God we didn't have to pluck rose petals this morning at 4 a.m. I know I'm getting paid $50K a year to do it."
That's right. That's right.
Really?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Now, that's just that's one diva story. I have several, but that's one that was great. And the other side of that, again, I say is, we went on to do a lot of stuff with J-Lo, and she's a fantastic person, very sweet.
Have you ever asked her about it?
I haven't had the nerve. Actually, I had her alone at
you should have done it.
Jingle Ball.
Yeah.
and we were talking, and she was just being so sweet, and we were just having fun. And I just didn't want to do that. You know, I mean, it was something in me there. I was thinking about it. I want you to know I was thinking about it, but I didn't go there. I never said a word about that. And
you gotta do it like nonchalantly. You gotta be like, so when did the rose petals stop?
I think I might next time. I might. Yeah, I think I might
be like, what?
Yeah, I can look down and go, where are those rose petals? I don't see them anywhere. You know, I mean, you know, she'd laugh now. I mean,
she probably would now, and you have a better relationship with her now, so you're to call her out. But that would be, you have to do that.
I will.
Okay,
I'm going to write that down.
And then interview her on your show, and then we'll put the hell out of it.
Okay. Yes. Yeah, we'll do that.
All right, PJ, you got anything going on, or you got any social handles you want to throw at people?
No, just, well, you know, Streaming Legends. Let's get everybody, you know, we've done some great interviews on Streaming Legends so far, and I would love for everybody to tune in and check those out.
You can watch them on YouTube or listen to them on podcast platform, but you can go to thisisfunner.com and click on the links.
Just click on the links and go there, you know. And we got, I'm sorry?
You had Dean Cain, you'd have Tom Likas, Jack Silver.
Oh yeah, we've had all kinds of people.
You've got some great people on there.
Yeah, we've had some great, and we've got some great people coming.
Nice.
I'll tease you with that. You know, I'm gonna get have fun with Jillian Barbary.
Ooh, yeah. Oh, she's a riot.
Next week, I think we're gonna do that, and then
perfect.
Of course, I'm gonna get the D's on very soon. So
yes, we need him on here.
Yes, yeah. So he's coming too, and then I'm working on Scott Shannon to get him on.
Oh hell yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
right.
He's doing great. So
well, you can listen to all that here soon, but you can listen to the old episodes at thisisfunner.com. And PJ, thank you so much for joining the show today again.
Thank you, buddy. It's always fun coming on with you.
All right, I'll have you on again soon because I know there's more stories.
Oh, I got him.
Right. I'll talk to you.
Thanks.
You've survived another story. Thanks for listening, and please let us know what you think about the show by leaving a rating and review. If you have a story or want to connect with Chris, go to thisisfunner.com.